Hello. In the 1970s, there was a song that had a chorus that went something like, "Feelings, nothing more than feelings." And I thought we'd take a few minutes to think about feelings. Feelings in fundraising. What does feelings have to do with it? Well, it's got everything to do with it. Feelings has everything to do with fundraising. Why? Well, because we as fundraisers, we bear feelings wherever we go. And the donors, the prospects that we come to visit with and discuss gifts of sometimes extraordinary magnitude, but whatever the scale, they are bearing their own feelings and wrestling with their own feelings as those conversations, those dialogues take place between the two of us. So we have feelings. And we have to work to manage our feelings. Perhaps the most common feeling I've wrestled with over the course of my career doing major gift fundraising is good old basic fear. I feel fear about an upcoming call. Well, a man far wiser than me once said, fear is useless. What is needed is trust. And we have to, as we go and prepare and enter into our calls, these conversations of great significance with donors, is manage our fear. Trusting in our donors, trusting in ourselves, relaxing, having that conversation, because we've been well prepared. I don't know about you, but if I'm going to go on a significant call, I get tense, and it reminds me of, I'm dating myself, mind you, but it reminds me of when I played high school sports. I played football and basketball. In football, I played offensive and defensive ends, and I remember as the game day, how this tension would build with me, this nervous energy just growing and growing and growing. And we'd get out in the field, we'd do the warm-ups and the exercises and so on, and it would just still be there. But after the first couple hits from the line of scrimmage and so on, that tensity would just kind of melt away, and I'd be excited about having this contest because I love to compete and I love to win. Basketball was a little different because there wasn't this opportunity for this hard contact to help release that pent-up energy. It would take me a little bit longer to get into the flow of a basketball game. But anyway, those were those days. But it's somewhat reminiscent in terms of feelings. We can feel very intense about things. And we have to be able to manage our feelings in order to execute our calls in the most productive way, positive, effective way on behalf of these organizations that we represent, and in order to provide the very finest service to our donors. So being prepared, well prepared, going into the call is a great way of helping to manage our feelings. If we're clear on the points we want to communicate, certainly in my early years of my career, and I still do it today, I will rehearse, and I will rehearse out loud some of the key questions or the key statement I want to make or key request that I'm going to ask for. I will rehearse in advance so that regardless of how I'm feeling in the midst of the call, I have those words memorized, the phraseology ready to go. And that gives me confidence going into the call that I will be able to succeed and say what I need to say, ask what I need to ask in order to do my part in this conversation with this donor on behalf of the university for which I currently work now. I take deep breaths. Frankly, breathing deeply helps me to relax my body. Oftentimes I will visualize before I go into the call. That donor, I will think thoughts, loving thoughts, grateful thoughts about this donor. I'll remember things I know about this donor and what it has meant for our organization and for other organizations in the community, the kind of terrific people that this donor or donors are. I will think about that in order to kind of calm myself and prepare for the visit. Now, the other side of this is, of course, that we bring our feelings, but donors bring their feelings into the call as well. They have feelings. They're wondering why we're coming. They're wondering what they're going to have to say in response. They've got considerations we know little of. Are they going to have to make a hard choice or perhaps a hard choice, a negative choice in terms of what we're going to be asking for them? All of that creates a certain tension and discomfort in the donors. So we need to appreciate that, be aware of that, and respect that they have feelings too. But a donor experiencing discomfort is a genuine thing and not something we should alleviate. We shouldn't seek to alleviate the tension. We need to allow that tension, that discomfort to be there with the donor, because it's a part of how the donor's processing what it is we've come to ask of them. It's funny. Sometimes I will, as I prepare my call and as I execute the call with the donor, I will set things up in such an order that I want to introduce tension early on in the call, and then only later in the call will I get to the particular ask request that we have. And I will do that intentionally in order to introduce a certain amount of tension and discomfort in the call. So as I'm going through other points with the donor, in the donor's mind is, what does Martin want from me now? I want them alert. I want them aware. I want them listening. I want them attentive, so that when we return to the subject of philanthropy, and in particular their philanthropy, they are absolutely attentive and aware of what I'm asking for and why. I believe that kind of attentiveness on the part of the donor will ensure that they understand what it is that we are after and hope to achieve through them, with them. So, feelings are present. Feelings are always present. And we need to be thinking about that in our preparation, not just to manage our own feelings, but think about the feelings of the donor. Think about the nature of the relationship. Is there good rapport? Maybe this is someone you have worked with on and off for many years, a donor in which there is already an established trusting relationship. That certainly can make it easier. Sometimes it's someone new or someone you have yet to really ask for a gift of real significance, and you're unsure about how they're going to view or take it. That can be challenging to us. Of course, it may be challenging to them. So managing our feelings, being aware of feelings in the room, in the space, in the conversation, how the donors are feeling, all of this is about fundraising. I have a favor to ask of you. I would like to know your thoughts on this topic, how you view feelings, how you view your own feelings, how you view the feelings of the donors, how you work with those feelings, so that you can be as impactful as possible and you serve your organizations as effectively as possible. I hope to hear from you soon, and thank you so much for listening.